working in a gas station. Welcome to HowDoWeHuman. It's the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning. Was that the fastest that you've had an intro ready?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because you did have to sit there for like 5 minutes while I went and looked up a song that I knew but couldn't remember how it went.
Got it. Oh, so that was your work email that you were doing.
That was a different thing I had to do. Classic Frank Zappa song. I couldn't remember how it went. That was Frank Zappa. Wind up working at a gas station. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning. Again, just to reiterate. We've
Did
done
I say
this
that
part
already?
Yep.
Have we done this already?
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your
hosts,
hosts,
Chris Binning.
Fuck. Today we are talking about gas stations. We joked about it on a previous episode, but even in jest,
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, yeah, definitely. We're definitely going to do that.
100% going to do that.
I am excited for it. Even we're talking about gas stations. I already said that. I got to stop. I got to.
I'm one of your hosts,
baton.
Chris Binning.
I got to pass the relay baton over to you. So,
Yes.
Chris, I'm going to ask you, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's October, which means that it's spooky season. People are getting Halloween decor. Spirit Halloweens are popping up.
Gotta love it.
And so I went to a Spirit Halloween recently to look at costumes. And there were a bunch of kids in there crying at the different displays.
There's
Great.
some freaky shit in there.
Loved
sometimes.
it. Yeah, there is. But then, I didn't really find anything. So I was like, well, I'll also go to Target. Target's nearby. I know they've at least got decor. They've got a couple like simple costumes, just pull a big foam ketchup costume over and you're done.
Yeah.
But so I went to Target, and then we're walking around the displays, and they've got this big like 8-foot, 9-foot tall like scarecrow looking thing with like black robes, but the head is a giant pumpkin. Okay. And it's got pre-programmed phrases. It doesn't move at all, but it has different phrases. And so there are a lot of like puns, basically. There's one that's like, oh, glad you could carve out time or whatever. But there's another one that says, I am no jack-o'-lantern. My name is Lewis. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean?
Wow.
It's not a pun. It's just like he's introducing himself. And I was kind of like, that's such a bizarre thing. But it's like kind of fun that I experienced that and then I left. And then I got like curious about it. I was like, has anybody else experienced this? And apparently it's like a viral TikTok sensation.
Really?
Lewis is blowing up the TikTok.
Okay.
And finding out that fun little thing is a big thing was really disappointing to me. I liked it better when I was the only person who had ever come across this at Target, a wildly popular store.
Would you say it was dispiriting?
Yeah, and that's the exact inflection that I would use to say it.
I forgot until you said it, as I had already started my sentence, that this wasn't at Spirit, it was at Target.
Yeah. But that's so if you go to Target, keep an eye out for Lewis.
Oh,
Apparently he's been so
I
popular that it's like he's sold out of most Targets. It's like just the display that's still up. But
I now, and this is a how you doing for another day. Go to the optometrist at Target. So I'm gonna be at Target on Saturday. I
great.
can't fucking wait
I
to
can't
meet
wait for
Lewis.
the update about Lewis.
Yeah, see how he's doing. I'm trying to figure out is the joke that like he's no Jack O'Lantern, like calling Jack a name.
Yeah, this is where I was
I'm
confused
Lewis,
too, because I don't know
which
if
if that's the case, I do kind of like it.
I don't know if it's like he's thinking that Jack is a name, or like you see a pumpkin with a face, and you're like, "That's a jack o' lantern," and he's like, "No, no, no, I'm something else entirely. I'm Lewis." Like I don't know which
I'm Lewis.
interpretation it is, but it's bizarre. So
That is great. I'm gonna need to see the evidence. I'm gonna need to meet Lewis, and then I'm gonna
absolutely,
need to go on my girlfriend's TikTok account,
yeah,
see what kind of content people are making with Lewis. I have a feeling it'll be annoying, but I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to be open-minded to things. Maybe it's great, and maybe I'll love it. You know?
yeah, yeah. Evan,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Me, I'm doing swell. You might notice I've started to bulk up a little bit. I finally, I guess I was going to say, gave in to my promise. I consider fulfilling promises to be a defeat of some sort. I gave in, and I've started going swimming as an exercise, working on different strokes for one folk.
Okay.
Me. Mostly the breaststroke.
What you talking about, Evan?
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
I'm a freestyle swimming. Great stuff. I found an indoor pool that is near enough to me. Maybe 15 minute drive away. Pretty simple.
Okay.
It's $4 per sesh.
Okay.
They have hours of the day that it's just laps. They break the pool into lanes. You can go get a lane and do your laps. Normally those sessions last for 1 to 3 hours depending on the day. I've generally found I can't so far can't really swim like actual laps for more than half an hour. I'm toast after that. I'm very out of shape. Working on it. I'm working on bettering myself. So this first time I went, I've now gone twice, which means I'm really committed now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, it is cash only, and it's $4. This is a down.
Okay.
I mean, $4 is very inexpensive.
but it's
the first time,
not an amount of money that people like are likely to have.
I brought $5.
Right.
She's like, I'm so sorry.
Rejected.
I don't have any change. I'm like,
how?
Did that guy not give you $4?
Yeah, how?
Just give me $1. I
don't think that's true.
So that side of things, I'm still working out the kinks. It's not great. But I find creative ways to get $4. I was just thinking, this is a side note, I was just thinking earlier today, like, oh, maybe I should swim later. And realized I have a $5 bill. I was just like, does anything in the world cost under $1 anymore? I couldn't think.
There are a couple of vending machines sometimes that are still like, you can get something for like 75 or 85 cents, but it's very rare.
Yeah. Maybe a caramel.
Yeah.
Some
maybe a
drugstores will have
caramel.
caramels at the front, but who wants one caramel?
Exactly.
I would want 2 caramels, and then I wouldn't have enough money to go swimming. Anyways, that's not the point. I'm at this pool. Okay.
Okay.
I'm already feeling a little in over my head. Not underwater. Eventually, I guess while I was swimming, I was in under my head. I was underwater, literally. But I'm like, I learned how to swim when I was a kid. I feel like I'm not a particularly strong swimmer, but I do know how to do it. And I vaguely knew 1 or 2 other types of swimming. And so, like, before going, I looked up on YouTube, like, what are some tips for doing? Because I'm thinking, like, I'm going to embarrass myself out here. I'm going to be, like, splashing all over the fucking place. And just everyone's going to be staring at Evan, the guy who doesn't know how to swim very good. Clearly, that's not how it went. I swam fine. But the one thing I didn't consider, you get in there, you pick your lane, if it's not occupied, and I just sit on the edge, I jump in. It's probably like I'm in the section that's maybe 4 feet high. I'm a little over 6 feet. So there's 2 feet there. But that's just the water. The edge of the pool goes up like another at least foot, if not a foot and a half. So now the the top is like, I don't know. On video, you can see up to here.
Right. Like up to your
under
nose.
my nose, basically. I had not remotely considered how the fuck I was going to get out of this pool, because there's just ladders on either end of the pool, but I'm in a lane. So to get to those ladders, I would have to swim underneath the separators and through people's lanes where they're swimming. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to do that. And so
you have to try and haul yourself out.
I was literally ready to go. I was done. I was beat. My arms and legs were fucking killing me. I was so out of breath. I'm like, it's time to go. And I couldn't figure out how to get out. So I was just like, I'm just going to force it. I'm going to keep going and keep an eye out and watch to see someone else get out of the pool. Get some tips, because I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
I was ready to be embarrassed, but I didn't want to be embarrassed. So I do a couple more laps. Finally, I do see someone get out, and they just upper arm strength boost themselves out of the pool, land on their ass. I'm like, well,
that's not an option.
I wish that had been my response. I instead thought, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Right now, while my arms are on fire and I can't swim anymore, I'm going to boost myself a collective 6 feet off from the ground and land on my ass on the side of this concrete. It looked less graceful when I did it. I just got there, put my hands up like this, and went, huh! And was stuck here, and then just leaned forward like a seal.
Yeah, you just
onto my fat belly,
beach whale yourself.
Yep, and down and rolled out, and just went straight to the locker room. Never looked back. I later looked it up. There is actually a technique. You're supposed to get to the edge and then squat down and use your legs like you're swimming. Basically, swim upwards, and then you could propel yourself upwards, and then use your arms to get high enough. The second time I went, I didn't try. I just swam through other people's lanes and went to the ladder. I just got a lane that was close enough to a ladder that I'm like, this is fine. Embarrassing shit, but
yeah, that's interesting that was your instinct, because I feel like I would have tried to time it right, like Frogger, right? Where you wait for the people next to you to go past, and then you duck under there. ropes or
My
whatever to the
instinct
ladder.
is always that, like, even if the person's on the far other end of the pool of their lane, if I cross that and I'm in that lane for a half a second, the lifeguards are going to start whistling, and that person's going to be like, "What the fuck are you doing, you idiot?"
That's true. That would also be a concern that I would
I
have.
panicked. I
Yeah.
panicked.
Yeah.
We beached this whale.
Congratulations.
It also just weirdly, and I know we got to talk gas stations. I'm having a weird connection with the fact that, obviously there's a men's locker room, women's locker room. I go in the men's locker room. There are signs. I don't know if you've ever been to a pool locker room, gym locker room. Dong left and right, but there's a sign that says no nudity in the locker room.
Huh.
I love to follow signs,
Yeah.
but everyone else in the locker room is bare ass naked. So I'm just joining
Yeah.
in. I'm taking my pants off, but I'm like, I don't like this. Someone's gonna yell at me.
Someone's gonna blow the whistle again.
Who put this sign up? What is the thought behind a no nudity clause in a locker room?
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't get it. There's
Yeah.
also showers in there. Like, what? I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I was just not in the right mindset because I had gas.
That's true. You
Also
you
could,
were a gas station.
also could be a way to propel myself out of the pool.
Yeah.
It's what I call my swimming lane, the gas station. You like a good gas station?
Yeah. It depends on what you mean by good. But yes, I um do you feel like a sense of brand loyalty to gas stations, Evan?
Ooh,
Are you
great
like, well,
question.
I'm gonna look around for an Arco, or I'm gonna look around for a Shell, or whatever?
It depends what I'm going there for. I would say if I am just going there for gas, I think subconsciously probably have brand loyalty to places that I've been that have been cheap in the past, whether or
Yes.
not it's cheap now. And Arco is a good example of one that I'm like, I don't think they are particularly cheap, but there's one particular Arco in Olympia, Washington, that's that's the cheapest gas in the whole Thurston County. So I'm always like, them and AMPMs. But around here, it's the Sinclair Dinosaur
Oh yeah.
gas station that I'm now becoming accustomed to. And yeah, there's no good reason for it. It's just a thing that is. Yourself?
Yeah, I think I do feel out here like a sense of loyalty to Arco just because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And then in like Arizona, it's probably like Shell because there are
Shell,
enough
yeah.
like rewards points through shopping at Kroger stores that sometimes you could knock some
I have
cash off
never
of there.
properly done that. And I would shop at those places all the time. In Washington, I believe QFC is a Kroger brand. And so I would have all sorts of points.
Mm-hmm.
And I only once or twice tried implementing them at the station, and it didn't work. And I don't know. I gave up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a state thing or something, but I had been able to do it in Arizona, but I can't get it to work here. So I don't know if it's a state
That does
issue
make me
or what. I
wonder,
don't know.
because I was just thinking that's a huge thing in Washington is this Safeway and or Vaughn's, same store. Um, there's Safeway gas
Right.
that is known as like, oh, that's the cheap gas to get. You got to wait in a super long line.
Yeah.
But you go, I don't see that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like I see Vaughn's gas stations in California.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I think that
Must be something.
I mean this is true in other states also, but like I think like places like Costco and Sam's Club, their gas stations are the ones that are notorious out here for the long lines,
Yeah.
and the cheaper gas. So I think that maybe has taken over that element of it. There's a Ralph's gas kind of near me, but I don't think I've seen a Vaughn's gas.
No, it's weird, especially right now and over the past year or two, we've seen gas prices go whoa. And they're getting up there again.
Yeah.
And it is weird that I don't go more out of my way because, like, right the fuck now, I'm broke as shit. And when I have money, and I need gas, I don't know why I don't go more out of my way to be like, no, okay, let's sit down and figure this out. I think that's
Yeah.
common with people because you can do the same with groceries, where it's like I just shop at Vaughn's down the street from me all the fucking time. I know that's not the cheapest food,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, when am I gonna actually sit down and weigh this shit and see? That would be the smart place to go. I need to do this because I don't have any money. I'm underpaid.
Yeah.
I don't know, but gas. It feels like since the pandemic, because I am still a work from home person, I'm still in the mindset of like, I don't really need to worry about it because I don't drive that much. But I
Mm-hmm.
do. Even though I don't drive to the office, I drive all over the fucking place for no reason. The other day I was just driving around and I realized like I got no reason to be out.
Oh,
I
you
was gonna
just get in
I
the
just
car
left.
and go. Yeah.
I was gonna go to Target for some reason, and then I was just like, I have no reason to be going to Target. What am I doing?
Well,
And I turned around.
you have a reason because now you got to
Now
go
I have
see
a reason.
Lewis.
And maps.
I have you had this experience at a gas station where you're going to fill up your car with gas, right?
Been there.
And the nozzle is in your fuel tank, okay?
Yeah.
But you go and it's like, no, it's not in there perfect. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to spray any gas.
It's the worst.
It is.
Sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. Gas pumps are so fucking finicky. And I
Yeah.
hate just standing there and you're feeling like the handle's just going up easy and nothing's engaging. It feels like such a pain, and I'm sure to anybody that has worked at a gas station, maybe I'm wrong. I have to assume it's not that big a deal. But I'm like, I hate any time I've had to like pull up to a place, open up my whatever you call it, gas door.
Yeah, whatever that like panel is.
Gas panel door. Open up the little door and like get the thing out, put my card in, get ready to go, and then it's like the tank or the I can't think of any words right now. The pump doesn't know anything's wrong, but clearly something's wrong, and I'm not going to be able to get gas out of this thing. And then having to like go inside and be like, I can't do it. Can I take that money, put the money different place, and then I drive real fast, get to that pump before anyone else can take it? I hate this process. I feel like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, so the reason I ask you about this pump not working, because this brings me to my main story
This no pump
of
chump.
this episode. That's right. So I go to the Arco that I normally go to.
Yeah.
I pull up to pump number 5.
One could say you are codependent with each other.
Absolutely.
One could say that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you would never say that.
I wouldn't dare.
But so I roll up to pump number 5. I open up the panel door, unscrew the gas cap, put my card in there, do all that stuff. And
Classic.
I've got the remove nozzle. I remove the nozzle,
Boom.
and it's like select fuel grade, and I press unleaded, and then this pump just starts spraying gasoline.
I've had this happen to me before. It's alarming.
I'm not squeezing the handle,
No.
but now the side of my car, the floor, the plant that's next to the pump are all just getting hosed with gas.
Yeah. I've been there.
I try to like to push the squeezing handle or whatever. I try to separate it as much as possible to like try and lock it to stop. Doesn't work.
No.
So I have to put it back in the in its holster.
Yeah.
And then it's like, thanks for your business. Like, well, hang on a second. I gotta pay these $2 for this gas that's sprayed everywhere.
That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, where it's like, nothing about this is your fault.
Right.
And that it literally is something in my notes, because I had that exact same thing happen to me in Elma, I want to say, at the Toads Mart. But like, yeah, what do? You just got charged for a decent amount of gas, and you now have to go in. And now it's like, the pump's in the thing. And until they come out and like do it, which they're not going to do in front of you, they don't know.
Well,
like, so you just have to take my word for it.
Yeah. So
it's bad.
All this gasoline is on the ground in front of me. And I still need to get gas. But I'm like, it stopped when I put it back in its holster. Yeah. So I'm going to try one more time. And I do the exact same thing. I got the nozzle in my hand. I select fuel grade, and no gas gets sprayed. It's like a normal gas pump. But now I'm trying to put the nozzle into the fuel tank, and if you don't have it angled exactly right, it won't work. So I have to like, generally when I have to pump gas, I kind of have to like lean up and into my car to like get it right. But there's gasoline on the ground right in front of my fuel tank. So I'm like slipping and sliding around while I'm trying to like pump my car full of gas.
You're getting high off the fumes.
Yeah, so I mean it's like a cartoon, like whoa. I fill it with gas, and I'm like, I feel like I have to be a good citizen and report that there's gasoline, like there's a fuel spill on the ground here and in your plant and like on these different surfaces. So I go in there, and I'm the only person in there, thankfully. I go up to the cashier, and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you're the person I'm supposed to tell about this, but I went to use pump number 5, and it just sprayed gasoline everywhere. So now there's a bunch of gas all over the place over there. I was like, I got it to stop, but so it's not like still leaking or gushing out or whatever, but there's a bunch of gas over there. And she was kind of like, yeah, sometimes people don't put it back right. Like, what?
That's
so
an option.
Exactly. She was like, I'll go take a look at it, but yeah, some people just put it back in its holster wrong. Why is that a feature that that you can just do that and it'll spray gasoline?
And that is a feature, not a bug.
No, that's bad.
That's bad. Nah, it all. Yeah, I hate any. I don't know. I think we're so accustomed to getting gas at this point. Getting gas being something that you don't have to talk to anybody about, unless you lived in Oregon or New Jersey.
In that moment, I was jealous. I was like,
right, this could be someone else's problem.
Yeah,
and then you could just drive off. But like, I think because of me and the rest of us are all accustomed to that. Like anytime I'm getting gas and I have to go in, and I'm not like, oh, I got to get snacks or go use the restroom. I'm like, I have to go in, talk to the person, and be like, either I fucked up or you fucked up. Something's wrong. I don't know. It's, again, probably nothing. Nobody probably gives a shit, but I hate it. It makes me nervous. I don't like talking to you gas station employees.
uh, I guess that kind of segues nicely into like convenience stores attached to
Yeah.
gas stations.
It's the Toomgis.
Yeah, too much good stuff at AM/PM.
That guy's a monster.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. The 7-Eleven, the list goes on. I I generally, at least I don't really go into them very often.
Okay.
But when I lived in Phoenix, I may have mentioned this before, but at Circle K they would have this milkshake machine. So it'd be like a frozen milkshake cup,
Mm.
and then you take off the lid, you put it into the machine, and then you like choose like the uh consistency or the thickness that you want the milkshake to be.
Wow.
And it raises up into it, mixes it, and then brings it back down, and then you have
Is
a
that still
milkshake.
there?
I believe so. It was
That's the
called
one reason
For
I've.
Real Milkshake.
That is the
Is
one
what it was
reason I've
called.
found to go to Arizona.
Yeah, there you go.
It's on my list now.
They have some. I think that they have some out here too. Actually,
Damn.
let me see.
What a
if
world.
yeah, it's
Things are great. Things are great
let's
in the
see.
world right now.
But otherwise, I try not to go to very many convenience stores.
Interesting. Too convenient?
Too convenient. Yeah, there are for real milkshakes.
Damn.
In
I'm all out of
California
lactate.
as well. Yeah, I mean, I can find the closest one to you, Evan, if you want.
Please do.
What's your zip code?
90. I'll bleep it. 9.
The closest one to that zip code is at the Circle K on Street, if you know where that is.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes away.
All right. I mean, the other ones there's one on Pico, but that's probably further from you.
10 minutes away sounds like it's the perfect stop after a workout. Go to the pool, get my laps in, go make a milkshake. Damn, that's exciting. I love this. I love a convenience store. I mentioned, I don't know when, on a previous episode, though, that my teen years, I pretty much sustained myself on gas station food exclusively.
Yeah, you have mentioned that.
Do you eat much gas station food? Have you ever gone through a phase?
Not really. I mean, not in like food that they make at the gas station. Like, sometimes I'll pick up, like when I went to Seattle, there was a gas station and a convenience store right next to our hotel. So I like picked up some water and an ice cream sandwich and like some fruit snacks or something. But it wasn't anything like I've never had a gas station hot dog or gas station sushi or anything like that.
Wow.
But the closest thing is, I think I've mentioned this before, but in Flagstaff, there's a Sinclair gas station that's connected to like a Little America hotel, and so they share like a convenience store, and like restaurants. I don't know what that, how convenient that is.
Share a convenience store.
Share convenient.
Watch on YouTube.
Yeah. Unless I'm cut out of the frame, I don't know. But that may have been just far enough out that only Evan could see it. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know.
But I would, my friends and I would go over there, and I think that maybe they had ordered like nachos or something from there a couple times, but we mostly only ever got ice cream there because it was like 50 cents or something.
Yeah.
So that's the closest that I've gotten to like ordering food at a gas station
That's
convenience store.
surprising to me. You're such a hot dog fan and
Yeah.
all these things. I'm like, pizza sticks, pizza pockets, Crispitos and or flautas, depending on where you're at. Fried chicken, JoJo's, mini tacos. You ever had a mini taco?
No.
They come in a little paper container. They're tacos that are this big, just filled with like shitty fake beef and sealed up. And you get like 20 of them. It rules. Now I want some gas station food. Generally across the board, I've always found gas stations have great fried chicken. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Give it a shot.
This does sort of segue us into something that one of the listeners on Instagram mentioned to us. Because, you know, we posted, we're trying to do this thing, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know. On Instagram, before, like, the day before we record an episode, we try to put out a little thing on our Instagram story that's like, you write our notes for us. Give us stuff to talk about.
Yeah. We want to interact with you.
Yeah. And so this is it was just a very generic, like, hey, like, drop your thoughts on gas stations here. And so a listener, and I want to be clear, this is not Evan Cox, the co-host of this podcast. This is from the Instagram account Eat with Evan. And all he says is Wawa is primo.
So this is I know this guy. This is we had an improv class together, and our names are very similar. I'm Evan Cox. He's Evan Kazi. I believe that's he has his own podcast, Eat with Evan. Go check it out. Maybe we'll have Evan on. Double Evan time. Can you handle it?
Nope.
I've never been to a Wawa.
They're on the East Coast, I think, primarily.
They are, and now I've not been to a Wawa. I was just like, I have been to New York. I don't think there was Wawas in New York, but I went somewhere in New York. One of those, basically what all I'm trying to say, on the West Coast. Gas stations, convenience stores, these are just that. You go to get gas, use the restroom, buy some snacks, whatever. Being over here my entire life, I've just got this, like, you hear, oh, the South, oh, the East, they've got Wawas, they got Piggly Wigglies, they got all these places that people are like, they rave about. You gotta go, and you can get like a sandwich there, or a grinder, or a hoagie. And so I was never sure, like, what is this? Is this actually a good place, or is this just the same shit that, like, it's the same as an AM PM or something? Like, I'm just gonna go get it. The gas station food I'm talking about. I have now been to a Piggly Wiggly, and I could say Piggly Wiggly, there's a lot more going on in there than an AM PM. So I'm like, I don't know why it's just an East Coast and or South thing, like everywhere except where I've always lived. There are these like fancy, aka primo, convenience stores that'll make you a sandwich, Sammy, and shit like that. I don't know. It's fascinating to me, and I got to try a Wawa. Wawa.
Yeah, there's again, it has also never obviously existed in places where I've lived. But there's another one called Buc-ee's that's in like the
Buc-ee's.
South and in the Midwest. And I only know about it because I was watching a YouTube video where these two guys took a road trip. 1 year they went to every single rainforest cafe in the US and in Canada, and then the following year, this year they went and did the same thing, but with every Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville in the
Wow.
U.S. and in Canada.
Timely.
Um, and
R.I.P. JB.
yeah, but on their road trip, I think it like either through Texas. I think it was through Texas. There's this like, oh, check out Bucky's, and it's this like massive. It's like it looks almost like grocery store size.
Yeah.
But as like a gas station, and they've got video of like somebody's at like a butcher block or something, like cutting fresh meat and stuff. Like, what is this place?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Bucky's merchandise that they're selling there. It's like it's
It's the
insane.
same as the Piggly Wigglies. It's just
I
like it's
want
its
to
own
try this
thing.
stuff. Like, why can't we have these things?
It doesn't like you can make all the excuses for like the pizza's never gonna be better, bagels are never gonna be better because of the water. Why the fuck can't we have a Piggly Wigglies? Why the fuck can't we have a Bucky's? I don't know. It's just like an entire business model that doesn't exist on the West Coast.
I'm
It's
also like
bizarre.
fascinated because like Bucky's has this like beaver mascot.
Love that.
Wawa has this like bird mascot.
Okay.
AMPM has Toomgus.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just fascinated by costumed
Mhm.
mascots for convenience stores. Like, I
weird
find that
thing.
fascinating.
Can we come up with enough of them to have a bracket?
I hope so.
God, I hope so. God willing. Send us in your favorite gas station convenience store mascots. The Sinclair dinosaur.
Yeah.
He counts.
I don't know. Maybe we just have to expand it to top 32 mascots in general.
Might have to be.
Gritty has to go up against the Bucky's Beaver.
Gritty's tough to beat.
Yeah. What's going on in Philadelphia where they have Gritty and the Philly Fanatic? Like, what?
Yeah.
What's up with these people?
They're full of Wawas.
Yeah.
This is what comes of it.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the curse that Wawa brings on a place. Yeah, I don't know. They're having a lot of fun out there. Kraken's trying with their little troll mascot, and people hate him. I'm open to letting him into my heart. Whatever his name is. I've already forgotten. It's just a weird choice. Kraken.
Yeah.
Is he a troll? And the answer is the Fremont troll. Then I'm like, still.
Call yourselves the Trolls.
Call yourself the Trolls. I would love that. It's got the stupid fucking meme troll face as the mascot. The Seattle Trolls. And then there's social media accounts just doxing people left and right. Anybody that has anything negative to say. I want to tell a little story.
Please do.
Something that happened. I'll open with a question.
Okay.
And maybe we talked about this in one of our many car related episodes. How are you? How to word this? Have you ever run out of gas? And how are you at making sure you don't run out of gas? I guess is the collective double question.
Oh, you mean like,
car.
have I ever run out of gas and had to like either then get like
tow the
jugs
car,
or like push the car or something?
Walk.
No, that has never happened.
Never
to me. And I mean, generally, like when that once that fuel light comes on,
yeah,
I make sure I go to a gas station in the near future.
Same. But
you've run out of gas?
When I was a gas station fueled maniac in my teen years, skateboard fiend, I was significantly less responsible with this thing. I have run out of gas, I want to say twice. Never fun.
Yeah.
Makes you very aware of like the car, because you do start taking it for granted. And then as soon as it's out of gas, you're like, oh, I can't go. I don't go anymore. I stopped. So one of the times, I forget what happened. I just like ran out of gas and got it figured out eventually. Probably walked somewhere to get gas or something. Oh no, I did. I do remember now. Walked to a gas station, bought a gas tank, little plastic container there, got gas in it, and walked back. Done and done. This, I mean, I don't even know if you can count this as running out of gas. I was running very low. I was broke. I'm going to place this for sake of an excuse. I'm going to place this in the years right when I started driving, which was right smack dab in the middle of the Iraq War, when gas prices were previously as high as they have been recently. And that is a lot to handle for a junior and or senior in high school.
Yeah.
I was driving before that. So whenever I was 16, I guess sophomore year, I'm like, it's too, and that was its own thing that has kind of happened again with me. Not to stray from my story, but in terms of like awkward vibes, bro. I hate if I'm broke, if I'm short on cash. You ever been short on cash and have to go to the gas station and buy like $5 of gas or like $4.32 because that's all you've got?
Yeah.
That's fucking embarrassing. And I feel like everyone could tell when I pull in and go, beep. All right, I'm out. I haven't bought $3 worth of gas. So I have no money at that point in my life. Just driving around. I know I'm about to run out of gas. I'm like, time to bite the bullet. Let's go. What a dark saying. That never occurred to me. Time to bite the bullet. Wow. Yep. That's bleak.
Yeah.
Just occurred to me. Don't bite the bullet.
It's great advice. Write it down for what we've learned.
I am driving to the gas station for one of these scenarios where I'm like, I just need to put a little bit in to get me through the week, get me to school and back. I'm driving to the gas station, same place, Toad's Market, whatever it's called, in Elma. And right before pulling into the gas station, everything shuts off. Ran out of gas. And I comfortably just rolled in. Didn't have to use a brake or anything. My car just stopped at the pump. It was amazing. It was irresponsible. It was a bad thing, but like, man, how cool was that?
Now that you mention that, I think in college, I wasn't the driver. I was in the passenger seat, I think. And we were, there was a group of us driving back from a film shoot.
Oh.
And I think it was like, you know, according to the driver, he wasn't out of gas. He still had a little bit to go. But
some people are very like adamant, like, I know my car. The gas light comes on and then I'm good for another 100 miles.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly, because it was the same thing where we start to pull into the gas station and you can feel that all the like the stuff is still on, but the power has really changed.
We're not accelerating anymore.
Yeah, we basically coasted up to a pump as well, but it was like, what are you doing? Like,
the answer on my end is, I don't know. I was an irresponsible young man. I never have been that type of person though. That just has. I'm same as you. Like even if I wasn't going for money reasons, like as soon as that light comes on, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna run out of gas. Like I'm gonna run out of
Yeah.
gas immediately. And I
Yep.
know it's not true. I know I
Yeah.
have time, but it's not worth the risk
Exactly.
at all. If it's a financial situation, that's column A, but the rest of the world, or maybe that's column B. Everything else is in column A. If that light comes on, it's telling you like you're gonna run out of gas, and even if it's in like hours, you could drive
Mhm.
for 3 hours past that. Congratulations. There, past the light, there's no way of knowing where on the meter it's gonna run out of gas. My car
Right.
right now has the like oh, you've got 20 miles left. Oh, you got 10 miles. Like I can
Right.
see how many miles left I have. But then at a certain point, it just stops counting.
Yeah, mine does that at the
Then
30-mile
what?
mark. It stops telling you how much is left.
It's basically like a little after the light has come on. It's just
Yeah.
like you're on your own.
Yep.
We don't take
I tried to tell
responsibility.
you.
Really probably is a cover your own ass sort of thing if the car
Yeah.
still said like you've got one more mile. Like
Yeah.
that's a promise they can't hold on to. They don't even know. The car manufacturers don't even know how much time you've got left on a tank. Just get gas.
Just get gas.
Just get gas. Bite the bullet.
Should we do like a got milk campaign, but
Yeah.
it's just
Get
get gas. And then we have
Get
like
gas.
gasoline mustaches or mustations, as I was gonna say.
Ooh, mustations. Mustachioed crustaceans. Like those
Yeah,
lobsters.
I like it. Under
too.
the stash. Do you have anything
Under
else
the
you'd like to talk
stash.
about?
I've got stuff listed. Nothing like major. I guess the other awkward thing I hate doing is using gas stations as rest stops exclusively and not buying anything. Because I've always been of the mindset like, I don't know, growing up in Washington, it's not a big like I wasn't going on big road trips or anything. I'm just driving around. So if you're not in it, like right now, you're going down I-5. I'm driving from California to Washington. Like there's going to be truck stops. There's going to like along certain long stretches, any convenience store, gas station you stop at, restroom's going to be open for people to use. But in a town or in a place like Olympia, for instance, you go into any gas station, it's like restrooms for customers only. So I've always had that, like, if I'm going to use the restroom, I've got to buy a pack of gum. I got to buy a drink. I got to buy whatever. A fucking fried chicken. So I hate the feeling now going on the road trips where it's like, it is fine. Everybody's doing it. You're driving for 18 hours. Absolutely, you can stop and just use a restroom and not spend any money. But I will never shake that feel. I hate it. I hate the feeling. It's bad. I don't know.
I hate like asking, like, sometimes they've got the key or whatever, the code for the restroom.
Gas stations always have the worst keys. They attach
Yeah.
them to a fucking plunger or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I hate doing that. I really try to avoid using gas station bathrooms. They always have the reputation of being like the most disgusting place you could ever be. And when I've used them, they're like fine. They're public bathrooms.
It's half and half. Yeah, I've seen some nasty shit. But,
Okay.
For the most part, yeah, it's all fine.
But we were driving from Big Bear back to
Little Bear.
to LA.
Oh.
And we got brunch, and I was like, I could probably use the restroom, but I had that thought as we were walking past the restaurant bathroom to the outside. And apparently my brain was like, I guess I can never go back.
I guess it's over.
I can't turn around. So I was like, well, I mean, whatever. I'm sure I can hold it for this 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, 30 minutes. Like, as soon as we leave the city of Big Bear and it's just like nothing, suddenly my body's like, I guess we're just going to explode.
Yeah, I guess this is it.
So, we went to a gas station. We found one. We pulled in there, and they were like, "Sorry, our bathroom's closed for renovations or something like bullshit like that. It won't be open for another couple hours." So we, get in the car, go try to find another one, and I'm like, I'm dancing in the seat. I'm fidgeting. We're doing
Dancing
anything
in the
possible to
seat.
just keep focused.
We're dancing in Big Bear, dancing in the seat.
And so we get to the next gas station, their bathroom's open, and there's a line of like 3 people.
Oh no.
And so I'm just now I'm not dancing in the seat. I am dancing in the street because it's a bathroom outside. You have to go outside and around the side of the building to go to the restroom.
Where
But
the
when you're
fudge
in
is
like,
made?
yeah, that's right. And so, I'm back there. Somebody's making fudge, and but it's like you go around the side through the side door, and then you're standing there in front of like it's the bathroom door is not on the outside of the building. You go around to the side of the building, and then you stand in this little like cubicle holding area
Yeah.
that's like half walls around the bathroom door. But I can see I can almost see up over the walls, and it's the convenience store.
Yeah.
What are these walls doing here? Just let me walk right over to it. Make me go
that's so
outside
weird.
and around.
That's probably just like that's what the building was. It was something else before, and now there's just a door outside, and they never fixed it. But like, that's insane. You
Yeah,
would think
well, they
even
were
the
like
convenience store themselves would want the door on the inside.
room dividers, so it was like you
How
could
weird.
you could get rid of this. I assume it's like to avoid theft or something, like
Maybe.
to be right there by an exit instead of sealing the exit off. It's easier to just put up room dividers. But eventually, hey, I get into that bathroom and I become an Arco pump that wasn't put back correctly because it's spray time, baby. What have we learned?
Well, we just learned a lot. We learned that Chris is unleaded.
That's right.
We learned bite the bullet.
Don't do it.
Dark saying. I don't know. I mean, I would like to reach out to us if you currently or have ever worked at a gas station, and let us know we're nuts and that it's absolutely fine to come in and say like the pump doesn't work. Another thing, not to keep this episode going, but another thing I got myself accustomed to because at a certain point I had to, and I might have to again because we all know. Speaking of wanting cheaper gas, every gas station it's cheaper if you spend cash. You just bring cash with you. You're saving, quite frankly, a decent amount of money. I should just carry cash with me and use that. But in the past, when I had to do that for a while, I was just like, I'm just going to take cash out, use that for gas. You gotta you have to go inside, give them like, I don't know, $40. Say I'm filling up. And if it doesn't use that whole $40, you got to go back in and ask for change. I hate that. I hate it. It sucks. So you save money, but double interaction.
But at what cost?
At what cost? Fucking double interaction, man. Ugh. Anyways, I'd like to think we learned we're being ridiculous.
I did not learn that.
I think we learned don't push it. Just go get gas. If your light comes on, go get some gas.
Yeah,
I don't care.
for sure.
That you know. I know for a sure. For a sure.
We learned that Evan's gonna go get a for real milkshake at some point.
Probably today.
We're gonna we want, you know, these Piggly Wigglies, we want
Mhm.
these Buckies, we want these Wawas to
don't
come over
we-
here.
Why don't we
Instead
come
of
up
us
with
going to
our
them,
own?
they should come to us.
Is that a business model we can hop on? Call it Howie's.
Yeah. A big like person with a giant globe as the as their head.
Do you think that would help the podcast if we had a branded convenience store chain?
Yeah. So instead of like some businesses do a podcast to help the business,
Right.
but we're gonna do a business to help the podcast.
Sometimes you're Mr. Beast and you're a millionaire and you're like, now I'm gonna franchise restaurants. Like, no. We're gonna start there. Anyways, just a thought.
I like it. Speaking of other things that can help the podcast is if you go to the various platforms where the podcast is and like, review, comment, subscribe, follow, leave a rating. You can do all these things on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Casts, HowDoWeHuman.com, anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can also check us out on our social media. I mean, we just shouted out at Eat with Evan for giving us that wah chit chat.
You want free advertising for your podcast?
Yeah.
Answer a question of ours.
Yeah. Also, similarly, before I get into our social media handles, if there are, you know, other podcasts that you listen to and you're like, man, I'd love it if there was a crossover, if these
collided.
hosts were on this other podcast, let us know so that we can start reaching out to other people that we've never met and see if they want to be on our podcast. We've only done it once so far and have thus far been ghosted, so we'd love to get those numbers up and see if you know, we can be more than just 0 for 1. But the social media where you can find us on Instagram at HowDoWeHuman.
We got that handle.
Facebook at HowDoWeHuman.
I don't think you're ready for that handle.
YouTube at HowDoWeHuman.
I don't think you can handle it.
Or send us an email to howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that it's an email. Yeah, see?
Evan, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I do. There's been a lot of chitter, a lot of chatter, a lot of
chitter.
Talking. And by talking, I mean TikToking. But also talking.
Okay.
Also, a person-to-person talking. Oh boy, we're falling apart. A lot of talking about this big old ball in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Previously, the most famous ball, New York, New Year's, rocking New Year's Eve. They're dropping the ball.
Right.
Now there's this big old ball in Vegas. U2's playing there. I want to go so fucking bad. I've seen the Sphere. I was in Vegas with my sisters some months ago, and we took the monorail past it. It's fucking huge. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I love U2. I'll say you love me.
Oh, thanks.
I would love to go. But here's the thing. I've heard on the inside, you know, you're sitting down in the stands like you're at a concert. And that means there's like a fucking floor to this thing. Is that a Sphere at all?
Oh,
fucking
interesting.
No.
It's more like a dome under the dome.
It's under the dome with Dean Norris. Is that his name?
It is.
Hank, under the dome.
That's what I thought you were doing.
Did
at
we do that
first.
before?
I think
Under
so.
the dome. We got some shotguns and we have some fun under the dome.
Did they
Outside
have
the
a lot of
dome,
fun
there's
under
lots
the
of
dome?
cops. Inside the dome, it's just me and Pops. All right. Here's what I'm pitching. And obviously, I'm thinking Vegas because there's a lot of open real estate there. Real estate's cheap.
Yeah.
Send people out to the desert. People go out to the desert for Burning Man. They get stuck there and they're having a great fucking time. Send people out to the Vegas desert for what I'm calling an actual sphere. We'll hold concerts there, show movies there. You go in the door and immediately slide down to the bottom next to whoever was in line in front of you. And everyone goes in and slides to the bottom with you. And if there's a band playing...
So you start at the top of the sphere.
Well, you start in the side. I'm not going to make them drop straight down. They're going to slide. Slide down to the bottom of the sphere. And then the band... They'll have to like drop from the top so they can. Everyone has to scoot over and shimmy over so they can be in the center because everyone needs a good seat. Yeah, it'll just be a big old dog pile with your favorite band.
Dog pile with your favorite band.
Dog pile with your favorite band in an actual sphere opening. I'm trying to work out a deal with the Baja Men, so get ready to sphere.
Yeah, I mean, who let this dog pile in? Yeah, there's. I don't know if you've seen it or if you know this, Evan, but if you want any, if you don't want to drive all the way to Vegas, for to study the sphere, the sphere that they use, as like their test. Like prototype, is in Burbank. It's near the Burbank airport. Yeah, it's smaller, and they don't have the screens on the outside, so it's just like how they're like practicing how they're going to set up the shows on the inside. But every time, I think they fixed it now. But for like, there were several times where the Santa Ana winds would come in, and it would just shred that dome. It's great. They'd have to completely recode it every time because the winds were too strong.
That's hilarious. I love it. Chris,
yes.
What do you got going on?
So this is, I've mentioned on here my, this is less of a plug. It was going to be a true plug. Now it's like a plug plus some advice. Okay. Because you've heard me mention my YouTube channel, Sassy Milkshake.
For real milkshake.
Like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I posted a video on there. 25 years since DreamWorks Animation's first movie hit theaters. And I was like, let's do something for these 25 years. So I put together a little montage. It's been doing pretty well, right? As of this recording, a little over 8,000 views.
Nice.
But YouTube has come in here and slapped a this is made for children video. And so all comments are disabled. And I don't know whether or not to appeal that because there were several comments on there, and now they've all now YouTube has said no. We're gonna put this with all our kids' content, which is weird to me.
That is weird. It's a weird choice. Probably an automation thing, but
probably. I mean, here's what it says. Set to made for kids, set by YouTube.
Right.
Features like personalized ads and notifications won't be available on videos made for kids. Videos that are set as made for kids by you are more likely to be recommended alongside other kids' videos. Well, hey, it wasn't set by me. So what why is every platform so against its users?
Genuinely every day, more and more so. I'm also just noticing every single platform I use, every app I use, everything since the advent of like the Chat GPT storm and all that shit. Like everything suddenly has a new privacy agreement they need me to sign. Like, I don't know. I don't know. The world's bad.
Yeah.
But, kids might watch your video. So that's cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
But
kids.
yeah, be harder to get more people to see it if there are no comments on there to
Doesn't
keep
help.
promoting it in the algorithm.
They're good at that. Saying
Yep.
like, yeah, the algorithm, you gotta have a bunch of comments. But, if you make something about like popular movies, that's for kids, bro.
Yeah.
That's for kids. This is for
Yep.
kids. Now this video is gonna get flagged as being for kids.
Oh no, thanks a lot.
Hey, YouTube. This is for kids.
No, it's not YouTube. Don't listen to him.
Yeah. I'm not gonna mark the checkbox.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, kids.